How to make a peanut butter honey bun. Step 1. Be poor, because you wouldn't have learned of this marvelous cuisine if you were raised in a well-off household. Step 2. Take your honey bun out of the wrapper. Step 3. Cover the honey bun in peanut butter nice and evenly. Step 4. Put the honey bun in the microwave for exactly 45 seconds. Nothing less, nothing more. Do not f this step up. Step 5. Cut it up into pieces for easy consumption. Step 6. Enjoy. So earlier this year, me and Tiffany had to move out of our apartment because we couldn't keep up with the bills anymore. And for some strange reason, her parents loved me enough to let my black ass stay here with her so I wouldn't be in the streets again. So I've been operating from here with her ever since. I had to sell my car when we left, so I either record in Tiffany's car or her brother's room when he's out. This isn't the first time I had to stay with other people.
Hello, my name is Jimmy Luna, and I live in Ladera, California.
Alright, so it has occurred to me that most of y'all don't know how I'm living right now and how I do what I do. So I'm gonna show y'all how I do what I do when I do it, and it does it well.
So right here we have the Mercedes-Benz. Don't mind the front bumper, that shit is fucked up. Fucked up seat right here. This is where the magic happens. This is where I record my music and or sleep sometimes. Right here we have a balanced diet of cereal, Happy Meal cereal. That's what I've been surviving off of for the last month. You know, we got our spec'd up Mac right here. You know, it's clearly a Mac. Right here, this is where I sleep. This small little couch thing. Not fit. As you can see, I am entirely too tall for this shit. You know, but you make it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? Over there we have my guitar that my girl gave me. Thank you, girl. Every day I come and sit right here in this seat and work long hours to produce the content that y'all come to enjoy. And I was working on a plan. As you can see, my bank account, I have negative $4.65. So yeah, that's that on that. Right here we have all the plans, all the plans that will get me where I need to go.
And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show y'all this because I feel like I had a very interesting, life is very interesting for me right now. I live at a random nigga's house. I make music in my car. I figured that maybe some of y'all that actually give a fuck would find that interesting too.
And not much has changed since then. Being broke as fuck sucks because your independence is threatened when you choose to rely on other people. It especially sucks for me because I'm the type of person who wants to provide for the people I love around me. I find genuine joy in that. Even though I'm welcomed here and this isn't my first rodeo, I still feel weird being here and living with their family. It bums me out not only because obviously I don't want to be a burden and overstay my welcome, but because I couldn't get my shit together quick enough on my own. And my family doesn't have our own place we can all fall back to when things get this bad, so I'm essentially just throwing my issues onto other people. It sucks, but that's why I can't fail with this album. I have to change things for us. Being poor is not gangster whatsoever.
Let me break it down and teach this a Gordon Ramsay speech. With a bloody hell you think it's cool to be oppressed? Y'all got generation wealth, all my niggas gotta stretch, all my niggas gotta dress, all my niggas gotta back up front just to get a check. All you Karens out here acting up, but every time that I try, I try, and I fail. Every time that I try, I try, and I fail. And I try, and I try, and I try, and I try, and I fail. If you feeling like you're so small, then I'm here to tell you that you're never alone. Cause I feel somebody gon' feel this shit for real.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Hey, did you about your cash app?
Okay.
Alright.
Zim zim zoom zim zoom zim zoom zim zim boo zim say zim boo zim say zim boo zim say zim boo zim zim zoom zim zoom zim boo zim say zim boo zim say zim boo zim say. Holding back greatness. I was in the field while you was on that fake shit. Tell me get in line cause you got limits. Trying to scare me cause you got timid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bet they fix it quick if we was a threat to that land. Fuck a riot, start a global-wide crisis. First world country, but what makes us so righteous? Every night cold, I was sleeping lifeless. The only thing I saw was a really white brightness.
I'm not thugging from the hood, I stay out them trenches. Got all my grandpappy pants, I don't sell my britches. You see, in order for me to win, sometimes I gotta take some L's, baby. For the low price of $1,300, you can pay my bill. And don't forget,
I'm not gonna lie, I hate it here. Anyone from LA will tell you living here really sucks, especially if you're not making good money. To make money, up until recently, I used to donate my shit. There's organizations that specialize in treating a rare disease that affects the digestive system. They collect stool donations in exchange for good money. I was getting about $75 a shit, and that's what kept me afloat for a while here, until I got kicked out for being black. Nah, not really. Apparently, the quality of my stool started declining. Sorry to all you fellow professional shitters out there. But now that I'm a free agent for good, I'm blowing the spot up. Now that I can't do that, I'm pouring every last ounce of energy I have left into this album, the TV show, the rollout, and hope I meet my goals. To be clear, I hate every other job that isn't what I want to contribute to this planet. Every job I've ever had has deeply depressed me. And if creating doesn't work, I will probably be dead under a freeway out here alone before the summer next year, no joke.
Unfortunate events since a young kid. But why does the loser always have to be me? Somebody's gotta win. Somebody's gotta lose. I was spinning around your block one time. I couldn't even knock on the door. I was feeling blue, feeling blue. It was like a ritual. No drugs, don't do drugs, don't do drugs. No drugs, don't do drugs, don't do drugs. No drugs. Fit now. Niggas dying off of opioids. Niggas dying off of fit now. Fit now. Fit now.
I remember when we did it with passion. To be an individual was something like magnet. It put you in mansions. It made you attractive. And if you tried to copy, you was getting your ass kicked. Meanwhile, I'm feeling them exiled. Cause everybody wanna be everyone flex now. Entertainment industry sort of my ex now. We don't even text now. I have to use kick now. I have to express now. I don't like this shit.
Krampus comes this time of year to fill your hearts with tons of fear. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. He's in your home to right your wrongs. He'll take your soul when you're alone. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I've journeyed through the struggle, through all of the strife. Forget it. I've journeyed through the struggle, through all of the strife. Forget album of the I've journeyed through the struggle, through all of the strife. Forget album of the year, one album of life. I was working for Tesla, wanted one of my own. Every night talking to Jake, he wasn't a clone. One of the few white boys who can understand who I was and what I want before shaking hands. Told him my plans, he believed in me, became friends with me. Sky, I go for mine, I got to shine. Throw your hands up in the sky. I'll be on the TV, I'ma shut you down.
Camera, wipe it so it's super clear.
I need to hold, need to pill. My chain too cold, chandelier. Pretty boy, manicure. You need a code just to get in here.
Hold up, y'all done got a nigga started on some shit. These niggas have...
So now the album is pretty much finished. All the production is done. The songs are recorded. I've mixed and mastered all 17 tracks. Shot and edited the cover arts for it a month ago.
Shake some shit up. Game need to change, you know what I'm saying? Something different.
Now all that's left is to distribute it to streaming services. Every time before I send an album off to be distributed, I listen to it a billion times to make sure everything's exactly how I want it to be. Sometimes I'll have my finger on the upload button and still go back to tweak something before it's up. Once I put it on SoundCloud, I start sending it out to close friends, fans, and anyone in the industry who might be interested in hearing it before it releases. Just to get the streets talking before the big release day.
Full of envy, energy don't fit me. Edison light hit me, they gather like assemblies. They drop songs, I drop companies. They write raps, I write symphonies. And that's excluding all of our differences. My persistence, what creates distance. But I'm just feeling like that time when I was on the road.
Gordo,
What's up?
who's your manager?
My manager?
Yeah.
Like,
Between us, who's your manager?
oh, Tiffany. Because you're my publicist, Jimmy.
Who's
I don't
your
know how to fuck, but
Who's your
I don't
manager?
think,
My manager?
Yeah.
Gordo's my manager.
So y'all both your manager and your client.
yeah,
And we're both your manager. And I'm your
Yeah.
publicist.
twins.
Yeah, we're twins.
I'm not really looking for new friends right now. I'm rarely around people these days by choice. I've been feeling disconnected for about a year now. While working on this album in its infant stages, I was going through a very rough time. While my peers were getting married, having kids, some partying, or just straight up getting to relax, I was struggling to establish a career that I didn't even really fully comprehend the path I wanted to take in it. I didn't know what I wanted to sound like, how I wanted to look, how I'd improve my conditions with what I had, who I wanted to get involved. It made me bitter and impatient with the world. They say when you reach a point like this where you're lost, you should look to mentorship. Well, I tried reaching out, but all the people I looked up to remained inaccessible to me. Until eventually I realized I didn't truly look up to them at all anymore. I realized there's no one I knew of that's on the same shit I want to be on, and that I didn't genuinely want to be friends with anyone I do have access to. So I've quite literally had to forge my own path alone.
It's scary. There's pressure.
What isn't?
It's not even like a pressure like niggas is like, hey man, hey, you gotta, come on man, you know, shit is getting down to the wire. Like, at one point it did feel like that last year, but I didn't let that shit get to me. But it's more so pressure, like I'm literally looking at my dad and like how shit is going with him and like, I mean, you heard it on the phone. I'm literally asking this nigga like, yeah, where are you gonna live? Like, it's, and like, you don't understand, like last year I did so much to help everyone and like it should just still just, and so now that I'm at this point and I'm like seeing everything crumble and I'm like, niggas is like struggling even more, and then I have my nephews looking at me and my little sister and shit, and I was like, I don't want them to have to go through any of the shit I just went through. I mean, the way shit is looking, there is no fucking like wealth in this family. There's no person to look at and be like, hey, you should be like him maybe, or, you know, hang around him because he's doing what you need to be doing, you know. It's kind of hard for me to see all that shit.
The best thing you can do for your family, the best thing you could do to have them look up to you, is to be happy and to not give up on yourself. And that's point blank period.
Camera speeds all around? Cool.
My name is Breland Poindexter, and it's been a gnarly 8 years.
You guys got this?
My name is Davon Poindexter, been a gnarly 13 years.
My name is Jimmy Poindexter, and it's been a gnarly 23 years.
My name is Daryl Poindexter, and it's been a gnarly 30 years.
My name is Daryl Poindexter Sr. It's been a gnarly 53 years. And we go through the line, not to the line, every time. We out.
Nearly every day I have to remind myself what and who I'm fighting for. I get scared sometimes my dad will never get to finally rest, that I'll be a failure, that we'd have no choice but to work depressing-ass jobs we don't want for the rest of our lives. So I find the strength deep within me to continue. Being in your 20s might be hard if you aren't a popular public figure, but as long as I'm able to fight and I have something to fight for, I'll continue to be persistent.